Hey, you seem to be bored and looking for movies to watch? Yes, you clicked on the right video. This video will introduce you to 100 little-known but entertaining movies. From animation to horror, from science fiction to drama, I will find you a movie to watch by including all of them. If you watch even one of the movies I will tell you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Then I will introduce 100 movies while you note the movies you like. Let's start. In 100th place is Hancock. Hancock is a superhero who, despite having superpowers, is disliked by the public because of his drinking problem and irresponsible behavior. Although he saves people, he is constantly criticized for his destruction and irresponsible behavior. One day, he meets Ray Embry, the PR specialist whose life he saved. Ray decides to help Hancock to improve his image. With Ray's help, Hancock is forced to confront his past and his inner conflicts while trying to restore his reputation in the eyes of the public. To add my own interpretation, I think the movie is a good work for action and a little bit of fantasy lovers. Try it if you have some free time. Yeah, we're up to 99th place with the Meg. Jonas Taylor discovers the Megalodon, a gigantic prehistoric shark. This creature appears during the work of an underwater research team. The team must fight for survival and eliminate the dangers posed by this giant creature. Taylor must deal with both a traumatic submarine accident from his past and the threats posed by the Megalodon. In the process, deep bonds form between the members of the team, and they struggle to survive together. In my own interpretation, the story is not good, but if you like Megalodon or something like that, and you don't mind the immortality of the main characters, you can watch it. In 98th place is King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Arthur is a young man growing up in the back streets of London, unaware of his true identity. One day, he finds the legendary sword Excalibur, and his life changes forever. With the power of the sword, Arthur is on a mission to save his family and his people from the tyranny of the cruel King Vortigern. Accepting his destiny, Arthur becomes the leader of a rebellion and, together with his loyal friends and allies, embarks on a great battle. During this journey, Arthur matures not only as a king, but also as a leader and a hero. Frankly, I haven't seen the whole movie, but from what I've seen, if you like action and old-age type movies like this, I would say try it. In 97th place is The Great Wall. Two mercenaries traveling from Europe to China in search of gunpowder find themselves in the middle of a battle against gigantic creatures on the Great Wall. These creatures are deadly monsters that threaten the Chinese Empire. The mercenaries are forced to fight alongside Chinese warriors against these creatures. During the battle, they take on the responsibility of saving not only their own lives, but also all of humanity. This epic battle takes them on a journey that leads them to heroism and sacrifice. If you like aliens invading us from the horizon and if you like action, I think it is an entertaining movie. Our 96th ranking is Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Valerian and Loreline are tasked with protecting Alpha, a massive space metropolis where species from all over the universe live together. Alpha is the center of various species living in peace and cooperation. However, an unknown dark force begins to threaten Alpha. Valerian and Loreline embark on a challenging mission to eliminate this threat. During this mission, the fate of not only Alpha, but also the fate of the universe is in their hands. As the two fight against their enemies, they also test their own relationships and loyalties. If I had my own interpretation, you can try it if you like a little bit of fantasy creatures in space. In 95th place is Clash of the Titans. Perseus is the son of Zeus, born to a mortal woman, and is known as a demigod among the gods. After losing his family to a creature sent by Hades, Perseus embarks on a dangerous journey for revenge. On this journey, he has to face the gods and mythological creatures. Hades wants to seize Zeus' power and plunge the world into darkness. Perseus fights a great struggle both to stop Hades and to save the world. In this process, he discovers the themes of heroism and sacrifice. I think the movie is good for action and mythology lovers. I enjoyed watching it, and if you are going to watch the second movie of the series, watch the first one first. In 94th place is How to Train Your Dragon. Hiccup is a young Viking who wants to end his village's war with dragons. One day, he meets and helps Toothless, a wounded dragon. The friendship between Hiccup and Toothless offers an opportunity to stop the war between Vikings and dragons. Hiccup tries to prove to his village that dragons are actually friendly and understanding creatures. In the process, he discovers his own abilities and takes important steps towards becoming the leader of his village. This movie has 3 movies in total and it is my favorite animated movie series and I highly recommend you to try it. In 93rd place is Warcraft. The kingdom of Azeroth is invaded by orcs from Draenor. As the world of the orcs is in danger of extinction, they search for a new home. A great war begins between humans and orcs. Both sides must fight for survival. During this epic conflict, the leaders of both sides, Anduin Lothar and Durotan, tried to find a way for peace. The movie is shaped around the themes of heroism, sacrifice, and hope. Frankly speaking, I like the movie. If you like productions like The Lord of the Rings, you will like it too. But there is such a minus that the second movie of the story did not come due to the low box office. So the story was left unfinished. But I think it will still be tried. In 92nd place is Beauty and the Beast. Belle is a beautiful and intelligent young girl living in a small French village. Her father, Maurice, gets lost in the forest and is taken prisoner in a castle. Belle goes to the castle to rescue her father, where she meets a prince turned into a beast. The monster finds himself and all the inhabitants of his castle bewitched by a curse. Over time, Belle discovers the monster's true nature and the goodness within him. This discovery leads to the growth of love between them and the breaking of the curse. With my personal interpretation, this is actually a known movie in my opinion, but since there are many people around me who have not watched it, I added it to the list. I think I don't need to add an extra personal interpretation to this movie. In 91st place is Alice in Wonderland. Alice returns to the Wonderland she discovered as a child and embarks on another adventure. In Wonderland, she meets old friends and enemies. She works with a group of resistance fighters rebelling against the cruel rule of the Red Queen. In this magical world, Alice discovers her own strength and courage. She leads a great battle to dethrone the Red Queen and restore justice. In the process, she experiences deep themes of friendship, courage, and self-discovery. My interpretation is a bit like a children's movie, but I think you will have fun watching it. 90th place, Alien, Covenant. Covenant is a colonization ship that sets out to colonize a distant planet. The crew thinks this planet is paradise, but they discover that it's actually a place full of deadly creatures. On a planet ruled by an android named David, the crew faces a relentless struggle for survival. Faced with the threat of alien creatures, the team must use their intelligence and courage to survive and escape the planet. For my review, let me say that I was so nervous and scared that I was holding my hand on the screen while watching. Extraction in 89th place. Tyler Rake is a former soldier and now a mercenary. He embarks on a dangerous mission to rescue the kidnapped son of a powerful drug lord in India. During this mission, Rake is forced to both save the boy and confront his own inner demons. The mission turns into a journey that changes Rake's life and takes on a deeper meaning in his search for self-forgiveness and redemption. I recommend it for action lovers and those who don't mind the immortality of such a leading role. 88th place, Exodus, Gods and Kings. Moses is Pharaoh Ramses' closest friend and one of Egypt's leading generals. However, Moses' true identity is revealed as the savior of the Israelites. Moses leads a great rebellion to lead the enslaved Israelites out of Egypt and free them. This epic story tells of Moses' struggle against Pharaoh Ramses, his crossing of the Red Sea, and his receiving God's 10 Commandments. The movie deals with the themes of faith, courage, and freedom. There will be some people who don't like it because it is a religious-themed movie, but I think it is a great movie with its story and action scenes even when we watch it independently of religion. In 87th place is Gods of Egypt. In an epic battle between the ancient gods of Egypt, Set, the god of chaos, seizes the throne of Egypt and plunges the country into chaos. Horus, the rightful heir to the throne, joins forces with Bek, a mortal thief. The two embark on a great struggle against Set. In the process, a great war begins between both gods and humans. Horus and Bek prove their courage and loyalty in this epic battle that will determine the fate of Egypt and its people. This is the mythology movie that I had the most fun when I watched it with my own interpretation. I think someone who loves mythology and action will definitely love it. Then 86th place is The Last Witch Hunter. Calder is the last witch hunter who fights and hunts witches. Centuries ago, he was made immortal by the curse of an immortal witch. In the modern world, he tries to prevent the resurrection of this immortal witch. In the process, he teams up with old friends and new allies to prepare for a great battle. Calder must defeat not only the witches, but also his own inner darkness. The movie deals with themes of sacrifice, courage, and immortality. I think it's a fun and action-packed movie worth watching. In our 85th place is The Croods. The Croods is an animated adventure comedy about the lives of the Crood family living in prehistoric times. The family is led by overprotective Father Grug, who believes in strict rules and staying within the safety of their cave to avoid the dangers of the outside world. However, when their home is destroyed by a massive earthquake, the Croods are forced to journey into an unexplored and fantastical world. Along the way, they encounter a variety of strange creatures and breathtaking landscapes. The journey challenges their faith and survival instincts, especially when they meet Guy, an intelligent and creative young man who introduces them to new ideas and inventions. The movie emphasizes the themes of family, adaptability, and embracing change. My interpretation is that it is a fun animated movie that can be watched with the family. Our 84th installment is Godzilla. Godzilla recreates the origins of the iconic monster in a modern setting. The movie begins with the discovery of a gigantic, dormant creature deep beneath the earth. As scientists investigate, it turns out to be Godzilla, a prehistoric predator awakened by nuclear radiation. Meanwhile, another giant creature known as Muto, massive unidentified terrestrial organism, emerges and begins to wreak havoc across the globe. The film's protagonist, U.S. Navy officer Ford Brody, finds himself in the midst of chaos as he tries to reunite with his family and survive the destruction. Initially perceived as a threat, Godzilla eventually becomes humanity's last hope against the Mutos. The movie combines spectacular visual effects with a narrative that explores the themes of environmental imbalance and the power of nature. I myself had seen Godzilla movies before this movie and I was prejudiced against this movie, but after watching it, it broke my prejudice. In 83rd place is 10,000 BC. Set in prehistoric times, 10,000 BC tells the story of a young hunter named Dley who belongs to a primitive tribe. Dley's life takes a dramatic turn when his lover Evelette is kidnapped by a mysterious band of warlords on horseback. Determined to rescue her, Dley embarks on a dangerous journey through uncharted lands. Through harsh deserts, dense forests, and snow-capped mountains, he encounters various prehistoric creatures and tribes. Dley forms alliances with other tribes victimized by warlords. Together, they uncover a larger conspiracy involving a powerful civilization using advanced technology to enslave humans. The movie is a great story of love, courage, and struggle against oppression set against the backdrop of a mythical age. I think it's one of the best old-time movies. If you like stories of heroism in ancient times, watch it. Our 82nd movie is Rampage. Rampage revolves around Davis Okoye, a primatologist who shares a deep bond with an extraordinarily intelligent albino gorilla named George. The story changes when a genetic experiment gone wrong turns George, along with a wolf and an alligator, into gigantic, aggressive creatures. As these mutated animals wreak havoc across North America, causing widespread destruction, Davis teams up with genetic engineer Dr. Kate Caldwell to find a cure. Their mission is complicated by a sinister corporation responsible for the experiment, which is trying to weaponize the creatures. In addition to intense action sequences, the movie explores themes of friendship, trust, and the consequences of scientific experimentation. Davis's efforts to save George and stop the other creatures emphasize his courage and commitment to protecting life. The movie is obviously fun and action-packed like a typical The Rock movie, so if you don't mind seeing giant creatures battle it out, watch it. Our 81st ranking is Dune. Based on Frank Herbert's classic science fiction novel of the same name, Dune is set in the distant future. The movie tells the story of Paul Atreides, the young heir of a powerful family. The Atreides family is tasked with ruling the desert planet Arrakis, the only source of spice, the most valuable substance in the universe. This dangerous planet is controlled by enemy forces and dangerous natives. As Paul fights to protect his family and his people, he discovers his own inner strengths and destiny. In my opinion, it is the second best science fiction movie series ever, but it cannot show this success at the box office. Science fiction lovers should definitely watch it. In 80th place is Mortal Engines. Based on the series of novels by Philip Reeve, Mortal Engines is set in a post-apocalyptic world where cities are now massive mobile structures fighting each other for resources. Tom Natsworthy and dangerous fugitive Hester Shaw are trying to survive against the onslaught of London, a massive mobile city-state. As Hester seeks revenge on a powerful figure responsible for the death of her family, Tom confronts his own past. I think it's a good action sci-fi movie. Give it a try. In 79th place is Brilliant. Directed by David Ayer, the movie is set in an alternate world where humans, orcs, elves, and other mystical creatures live together. During a night patrol, Police officer Daryl Ward and his orc partner Nick Jacoby come across a magic wand that has the power to fulfill an ancient prophecy. This wand is sought by forces both good and evil. Ward and Jacoby are tasked with protecting the wand to save the world. I think it is a fantastic action movie that can be called good with both character designs and story. In 78th place is The Gray Man, based on the novel by Mark Greaney. This action thriller tells the story of former CIA agent Court Gentry. While working as an assassin, Gentry becomes the target of a dangerous enemy from his past, Lloyd Hansen. Hansen uses every means to stop Gentry as he fights to survive and uncover the dark secrets of his past. Even the cast is proof that this movie is good. I think it is definitely one of the action thrillers you can try. In 77th place is Samaritan. Samaritan tells the story of Joe Smith, a former superhero who was believed dead years ago. But a young boy named Sam discovers that Joe is still alive. Joe confronts his past and mentors Sam as he works to protect the city from a new threat. The movie deals with themes of heroism, hope, and second chances. It is a fantasy movie that entertains in Samaritan, even if it is inferior to the other movies I mentioned. In 76th place is I Am Legend. In this movie, a scientist believes he is the last survivor in a big city after a virus outbreak. By day he searches for supplies to survive, and by night he hides from the people the virus has turned into horrible creatures. He has established a safe house and uses his scientific knowledge to search for a cure to reverse the effects of the virus. His days are filled with routine survival tasks and his nights with the constant threat of attack, emphasizing his loneliness and the desolation of the once bustling metropolis. I think thriller and horror lovers should give the movie a try. In 75th place is The Revenant. In this movie, a fur trapper is severely injured and nearly killed by a brutal bear attack during an expedition in 1823. Abandoned by his team and left for dead in the unforgiving wilderness, he struggles to survive against the harsh elements, his severe injuries, and his own despair. His journey becomes a journey of revenge and endurance, as he laboriously makes his way back to civilization to take revenge on those who betrayed him. The movie explores themes such as resilience, the capacity of the human spirit to survive, and the deep connection between man and nature. My interpretation is that the movie is really good, so if you like action and westerns, definitely give it a try. In 74th place is Red Notice. In this movie, an FBI profiler is tasked with catching an international art thief, one of the world's most wanted criminals. As he gets closer, he finds himself up against a master thief and a cunning con man. Events take an unexpected turn and the trio must reluctantly work together to pull off a major heist involving a priceless artifact. The film combines thrilling action sequences with clever plot twists and a dose of humor as the characters navigate a web of deception, betrayal, and high-stakes risks in a variety of glamorous locations around the world. I think the movie is both fun and funny and action-packed, and has a mysterious ending. I think you should give it a try. It's a rock movie after all. In 73rd place is Jumper. In this movie, a young man discovers the ability to teleport, which allows him to transport himself instantly to any place he can imagine. He uses this extraordinary ability to escape his troubled past and embark on adventures around the world, enjoying a life of luxury and freedom. But his actions attract the attention of a secret organization called the Paladins, whose mission is to hunt down and eliminate people with the ability to teleport. As he evades capture, he is forced to confront the reality of his powers and the effects they have on those around him. The movie explores themes such as freedom, power, and the consequences of living outside of societal norms. My interpretation is clear. If you like action and science fiction, of course, a little bit of fantasy style here and there, but I think it is watchable. In 72nd place is Knights of the Zodiac. In this movie, a young man takes on the task of becoming one of the Knights of the Zodiac, the legendary warriors charged with protecting the Greek goddess Athena. He discovers that he is destined to wear a sacred armor that gives him extraordinary abilities and places him among these legendary defenders. His journey is filled with self-discovery and courage as he trains to use his newfound powers, battles formidable enemies, and ultimately joins the epic struggle to protect the world from the dark forces that seek to bring chaos and destruction. Blending elements of mythology, fantasy, and epic warfare, the film presents a story of heroism, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. I think action and adventure fantasy movie lovers can watch it, although it is a bit like an adolescent movie. In 71st place is Skyline. Skyline is a science fiction thriller set in Los Angeles. The story begins with a group of friends gathering for a party in a high-rise apartment. As they celebrate, mysterious blue lights descend from the sky and draw people out like propellers. Those who look at the lights are mesmerized and are drawn up into the air. It soon becomes clear that the lights are part of an alien invasion. The friends must navigate their way through the chaotic city, trying to find a safe haven while avoiding capture by the extraterrestrial invaders. The film explores themes of survival, friendship, and the unknown as the characters face an overwhelming and extraterrestrial threat. I think you should give it a try if you like alien invasion-style movies. In 70th place is War of the Worlds. Based on the classic novel by H.G. Wells, War of the Worlds is a gripping tale of alien invasion. The movie stars Tom Cruise as Ray Ferrier, a dockworker and alienated father who must protect his children when Earth is attacked by technologically superior aliens. Using massive tripod machines, the invaders wreak havoc with deadly heat rays, causing widespread destruction and panic. As society collapses around them, Ray and his children embark on a harrowing journey to reunite with his ex-wife and find safety. Combining intense action sequences with emotional moments, the movie reveals the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable challenges. I think it's an average alien invasion movie, so if you can't find a movie to watch, give it a try. In 69th place is Edge of Tomorrow. Set in the near future, Edge of Tomorrow stars Tom Cruise as Major William Cage, an inexperienced officer on a suicide mission against a powerful alien race known as the Mimics. After being killed in battle, Cage finds himself trapped in a time loop, reliving the same day over and over again. Each death resets the day and gives him another chance to learn and improve his combat skills. With the help of Rita Vertasky, played by Emily Blunt, a highly skilled soldier who once experienced a similar phenomenon, Cage must use his newfound abilities to uncover the key to defeating the aliens and ending the invasion. The movie blends elements of science fiction, action, and Groundhog Day-style repetition to create an engaging and innovative narrative. It's an alien invasion movie that I had fun watching, so if you like this kind of movie, definitely give it a try. In 68th place is Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer is set in a post-apocalyptic world where a failed climate change experiment has killed all life except for a few who board the Snowpiercer, a train traveling around the world. The train is divided by a rigid class system, with the wealthy elite living in luxury at the front, while the poor masses endure misery at the back. Chris Evans stars as Curtis, a member of the oppressed class who leads a revolution against the elite. As Curtis and his fellow rebels fight their way to the front of the train, they uncover shocking truths about the workings of the train and their society. The film explores themes of social inequality, survival, and the indomitable will of the human spirit to fight for justice. It's a beautiful and rare action sci-fi movie in its genre. Give it a try. In 67th place is Sonic the Hedgehog. Based on the popular video game series, Sonic the Hedgehog follows the adventures of Sonic, an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog with super speed. After accidentally causing a massive power outage that attracts the attention of the government, Sonic is pursued by the evil genius Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, who wants to use Sonic's power for his own nefarious purposes. Sonic finds an unlikely ally in Tom Wachowski, a small-town sheriff who helps him evade capture. Together, they embark on a cross-country journey to stop Dr. Robotnik and protect Sonic's newfound home. The film combines action, humor, and heartwarming moments as it explores themes of friendship, belonging, and the importance of using one's talents for good. I assume you are familiar with the Sonic cartoon, and if you watched it as a child, I recommend you watch this one. 66th place goes to Corpse Bride. Set in a 19th century European village, Victor Van Dort, a shy young man rehearsing his wedding vows in the woods, accidentally awakens his dead bride Emily. Transported to the land of the dead, Victor finds himself caught between two worlds. Emily, the corpse bride, longs for companionship and believes that Victor is her groom. Meanwhile, in the land of the living, his real fiancée Victoria awaits his return. As Victor navigates the colorful and interesting world of the dead, he must find a way to return to the living and marry Victoria, while understanding Emily's tragic story and satisfying his longing for closure. I think the film is the best animated film in terms of story, and I recommend it if you like this kind of films. In 65th place is The Mummy. In the 1920s, adventurer Rick O'Connell and librarian Evelyn Carnahan discover the lost Egyptian city of Hamunaptra. During their exploration, they accidentally awaken the cursed mummy of Imhotep, a high priest mummified alive for trying to resurrect his forbidden love Anksunamun. Now resurrected, Imhotep seeks to unleash his wrath on the world and complete his dark rituals to fully regain his power and resurrect Anck-su-namun. Rick, Evelyn and their allies must battle ancient curses, plagues and Imhotep's supernatural abilities to stop him from achieving his goal and save humanity from his vengeful return. Although it is not a very good movie, I was not bored while watching it. I recommend it for action and small thriller lovers. In 64th place is The Scorpion King. In ancient times, the fierce warrior Matthias, known as the Scorpion King, is hired to assassinate the cruel ruler Memnon. A ruthless warlord, Memnon uses the visions of his sorceress Cassandra to maintain his reign of terror. Matthias kidnaps Cassandra to weaken Memnon's power, but as he spends time with her, he learns of her desire for freedom and peace. Together they form an alliance to overthrow Memnon. Matthias faces countless challenges and battles, demonstrating his strength and strategic acumen, and ultimately aims to unite the warring tribes and bring peace to their lands. Frankly, it has very similar vibes to the movie The Mummy, and if you watched and liked one, I would recommend the other. In 63rd place is Brave. In the mystical Highlands of Scotland, the young and headstrong Princess Merida defies her mother's wishes for her to marry and instead tries to forge her own path. In her quest for independence, Merida encounters a witch who grants her a wish to change her fate. But the wish backfires and turns her mother, Queen Eleanor, into a bear. With the help of her triplet siblings and her own courage, Merida embarks on a dangerous journey to reverse the spell before it becomes permanent. Along the way, she learns valuable lessons about family, tradition, courage and the true meaning of responsibility. First of all, yes, it is a children's movie, but it was a fun animated movie that I really liked when I watched it. In 62nd place is The Martian. During a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney is presumed dead after a violent storm and is left behind by his crew. But Watney survives and finds himself stranded and alone on the hostile planet. With limited supplies, he must resort to his ingenuity, intelligence, and spirit to survive and let Earth know he is alive. Using his skills as a botanist, Watney finds a way to grow food and create water while documenting his struggle for survival. Meanwhile, realizing he is alive, NASA scientists and his crewmates devise a daring rescue plan. The movie highlights the themes of resilience, human ingenuity, and the will to survive despite overwhelming odds. I recommend this movie, which would definitely be on my list if they asked me to make a top 10 list. In 61st place is Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson tells the story of a young boy who discovers that he is the son of Poseidon, one of the Greek gods. Percy's life changes dramatically when he learns of his divine heritage and finds himself immersed in a world full of gods, demigods, and mythical creatures. Tasked with a dangerous mission to prevent a war between the gods, Percy must overcome a series of challenges and adventures. Along the way he meets other demigods, battles monsters, and uncovers secrets about his family and the gods. The story is a fascinating mix of modern-day settings and ancient mythology, full of action, humor, and heart. I think it's a good mythology movie, and if you like it, there's a sequel. In 60th place is Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter tells the story of Lieutenant Artemis and his elite military team who are unexpectedly transported to a strange world filled with gigantic and terrifying monsters. In this new environment, they encounter creatures unlike anything they have ever seen before. Struggling to survive, Artemis teams up with a mysterious hunter who knows how to fight these monsters. Together they navigate the dangerous terrain, fight the creatures, and search for a way back to their world. The film is known for its stunning visual effects, intense battle scenes, and the relentless pursuit of survival against overwhelming odds. I think it's a good action-packed movie, so watch it if you don't mind giant creatures. In 59th place is Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider reboots the story of Lara Croft, a fiercely independent and spirited young woman. Following the mysterious disappearance of her father, Lara journeys to his last known location, a legendary tomb on a mythical island. Determined to solve the mystery, Lara faces countless challenges, from deadly traps to ruthless enemies. As she unravels the secrets of the tomb, Lara becomes the iconic adventurer known as the Tomb Raider. The movie combines thrilling action with an intriguing character arc, showing Lara's evolution from a young woman searching for her father to a determined adventurer. If you like the Lara Croft series, give it a try. There are 3 movies in total in this series. In 58th place is Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise takes viewers on a wild journey through the Amazon jungle. The story centers on a charismatic riverboat captain who is hired by a determined scientist to guide him on his quest to find the Tree of Life, a legendary tree believed to have unique healing powers. As they journey deeper into the jungle, they encounter countless obstacles, including wild animals, dangerous terrain, and supernatural forces. A mix of adventure, comedy, and fantasy, the movie offers an exciting and entertaining experience. With its lush settings and dynamic characters, it captures the spirit of discovery and the wonders of the unknown. Action, fun, and adventure, this movie has it all. Try it if you're interested. In 57th place is 47 Ronin. 47 Ronin is a fantastic retelling of the true story of 47 samurai who became Ronin, leaderless samurai. After their master was unjustly killed, bound by honor and loyalty, they vowed to avenge their master's death. Their journey takes them into a world of mythical creatures, dark magic, and epic battles. Facing powerful enemies and supernatural threats, the Ronin must rely on their skill, courage, and unity. Blending historical drama with fantasy elements, the film reveals the samurai's unbreakable code of honor and their relentless pursuit of justice. A visually stunning and emotionally resonant story of courage and sacrifice. I think it's a film well suited for action and fantasy lovers with a little bit of fantasy thrown in. In 56th place is 65. 65 is a sci-fi thriller about a man struggling to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. Combining intense action scenes with a gripping narrative, the movie explores themes of human resilience, the struggle for survival, and confronting the brutal forces of nature. The protagonist's journey is not only physical but also emotional as he battles his inner demons and tries to find meaning in a desolate world. Atmospheric cinematography and engaging character development make 65 a must-see for fans of the genre. I think the movie is good, especially if you want to see dinosaurs and stuff. 55th place is Journey to Mysterious Island. Journey to Mysterious Island is an action-adventure film that centers on a young man's quest to find his missing grandfather. Set on a fantastical island full of strange creatures and hidden dangers, the movie offers a thrilling escape into a world full of imagination and excitement. The movie's stunning visual effects and fast-paced plot keep audiences on the edge of their seats, while the intimate relationships between the characters add depth to the adventure. A perfect blend of family-friendly fun and excitement, this movie is a delightful watch for audiences of all ages. Even though it is a little bit childish, I think it can be watched when you are bored. In 54th place is Gemini Man. Gemini Man tells the story of an aging assassin who finds himself the target of a young clone. This high-concept action movie is notable for its groundbreaking visual effects that age actor Will Smith to play both older and younger versions of the protagonist. The film explores themes of identity, self-confrontation, and the ethics of cloning technology. With expertly choreographed action sequences and a thought-provoking story, Gemini Man challenges audiences to consider the consequences of confronting the past and seeking redemption. I love this production for its story and action scenes. I recommend it. In 53rd place is Code 8. Code 8 is set in a dystopian future where people with superpowers are marginalized and oppressed. The movie follows a young man with special abilities who turns to crime to help his struggling family. This sci-fi action thriller blends social commentary with intense, kinetic action sequences, offering a fresh take on the superhero genre. The narrative explores issues of social inequality, discrimination, and the struggle for justice, making it both an entertaining and thought-provoking experience. Gritty realism and well-developed characters set Code 8 apart from typical superhero movies. A good movie where action and science fiction are well adapted. I can say that it is better than many movies on the list. And there is a sequel, by the way. 52nd place goes to The Platform. The Platform is a thought-provoking horror film set in a prison where inmates are fed via a platform that moves between floors, delivering food from top to bottom. This social allegory emphasizes themes of class inequality, greed, and the darker aspects of human nature. The inhabitants of each floor must decide whether to cooperate for their common survival or succumb to their basest instincts. The film's minimalist decor and intense psychological tension create a claustrophobic atmosphere that keeps viewers engaged. Platform offers a sharp and disturbing critique of social structures, making it a highly effective and unforgettable movie. So, without further ado, I recommend it to everyone. In 51st place is The Huntsman. Winter's War. In a land of icy tyranny, Freya, the Ice Queen, establishes her own kingdom after a personal tragedy. Her former lover, Eric, now a skilled hunter, and his partner Sarah, a fierce warrior, are forced to confront their past and face deadly trials set by Freya. As they battle through dangerous landscapes and confront dark forces, their journey reveals secrets that could change the fate of their world. I think the movie is a really successful production on the basis of both love and action movie. In 50th place is Ready Player One. In a bleak future where most people have fled to the virtual world of the Oasis, Wade Watts, a teenager with a passion for gaming, embarks on a quest to find a hidden fortune left by the creator of the Oasis. As he traverses a series of challenges and faces off against rivals in a digital universe, Wade must use his wits and courage to outwit those who seek the prize for their own gain. I think it's a successful movie for a movie that turns action and games like this into a movie. 49th place goes to Raya and the Last Dragon. Set in the mystical land of Kamandra, where dragons once protected humanity, the story follows Raya, a fearless warrior, on her quest to find the last dragon, Sisu. With the world now torn apart by a dark force, Raya must navigate dangerous terrain and face formidable enemies to restore peace. Together with Sisu and her quirky companions, Raya's journey is a test of trust, courage and the power of togetherness. First of all, yes, it's a bit of a children's movie, but adults can have fun too if you want to give this kind of fantasy movies a chance. In 48th place is the Chronicles of Narnia. Four siblings encounter a magical wardrobe that transports them to Narnia, a land where animals speak and mythical creatures roam. They join forces with the noble lion Aslan to fight the evil White Witch, who casts a spell of eternal winter. Facing various trials and forging alliances with talking animals and magical beings, the siblings must rely on their courage and faith to bring peace back to Narnia. This is a trilogy movie series and yes, it is a bit kid-friendly, but I recommend it as an entertaining movie. In 47th place is Real Steel. In a near future where human boxers have been replaced by robots, Charlie Kenton, a washed-up boxer, teams up with his estranged son to build and train a robot for the ring. Together, they embark on a journey of redemption and bonding as their robot Adam faces powerful opponents. Through intense fights, intimate moments, and the undeniable bond between father and son, the story unfolds, revealing the resilience of the human spirit and the thrill of combat. I think it's a movie that everyone should watch. I didn't watch it with prejudice before, but it's a great production. 46th place Elysium. In the future, the world has changed completely, and there is a huge gap between two different classes. On the one hand, people are struggling with poverty and disease, trying to survive in a ruined and overcrowded world. On the other hand, the wealthy elite enjoy all the privileges on the space station Elysium, where they live in luxury. On Elysium, diseases can be cured and lifelong prosperity is guaranteed. A man named Max embarks on a dangerous mission to save his own life and put an end to this unjust order. His journey will require him to confront Elysium's rigid security systems and powerful individuals who will stop at nothing to protect the interests of the wealthy. Max's epic struggle may change not only his own destiny, but also the fate of all humanity. I think the movie is very good for science fiction and action lovers. I liked it when I watched it. In 45th place is Robocop. The city of Detroit has become a place of chaos and anarchy, where crime rates have become uncontrollable in the future. The local authorities, unable to fight crime, enlist the help of a large private company, Omnicorp. The company develops a police officer called Robocop, who is half man and half machine. While fighting against criminals, Robocop begins to question who he is and his connection to humanity. Robocop, who was a police officer in the past, now seeks justice in the body of a machine, while trying to redefine both his own existence and his moral values. This movie offers viewers intense action as it explores the limits of technology and the depths of human nature. I only watched the 2014 version. I can't comment on the others, but it was good. There are 4 movies in total in this series. In 44th place is Free Guy. Guy leads a routine life as an ordinary bank clerk in a video game. One day, however, he realizes that he is actually one of the background characters in a video game. When he learns this shocking truth, he begins to act of his own volition in the game world. Before he is erased and destroyed by the game's creators, Guy sets out to save both his own destiny and the game world. Along the way, he teams up with a real-world player and developer to fight against the game's malevolent bosses. The movie combines deep themes of free will, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality with a fun and action-packed story. I think it's a movie that is both successful and entertaining at the same time. In 43rd place is Coco. Miguel, a boy with a passion for music, dreams of becoming a musician despite his family forbidding music. But he struggles to understand why his family is so strict about music. One day, on the Day of the Dead, he accidentally steps into the land of the dead. Here he meets his long-lost great-grandfather and other dead family members. In this mystical world, Miguel learns deep secrets about his family's past and discovers his connection to music. However, he must race against time to avoid staying in the land of the dead forever. Miguel embarks on an arduous journey to honor both his love of music and his family. This mesmerizing animation tells a touching and unforgettable story about family ties, memory, and cultural heritage. Kids will definitely love it, but I think it's an animation that adults will have fun watching too, so I recommend it. In 42nd place is San Andreas. The famous San Andreas fault line in California causes a massive earthquake, leveling much of the state. An experienced search and rescue pilot named Ray embarks on a dangerous journey to save his family in this devastating natural disaster. As Ray witnesses the destruction of California, he races against time to save his family from the catastrophic disaster. As the scale of the disaster grows, the bonds between Ray and his family are tested. In the face of the destructive power of nature, this action-packed movie reveals how fragile human beings are and how important family ties are. I recommend it if you like action and suspense. After all, there's The Rock in the movie, so it can't be bad. In 41st place is G.I Joe, Rise of Cobra. In this high-octane action movie, an elite military unit known as G.I Joe is formed to combat the rising threat of a mysterious and powerful terrorist organization called Cobra. The story follows a group of skilled soldiers, equipped with the latest technology and advanced weaponry, on a mission to stop Cobra from plunging the world into chaos. Along the way, the team faces numerous challenges, including betrayal from within and deadly battles against Cobra's most dangerous agents. The movie deals with themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and the struggle to prevent global catastrophe. It's not bad if you like action and have some free time. 40th place goes to Noah. Set in a world of violence, sin, and corruption, Noah tells the biblical story of a man chosen by God to fulfill a daunting task: to build a gigantic ark to save his family and pairs of every animal species from the coming flood that will wipe out the world. As Noah grapples with the weight of this divine task, he faces moral dilemmas, internal conflicts, and opposition from those who refuse to believe in the impending catastrophe. The movie explores Noah's unwavering faith, his love for his family, and the test of humanity's survival in the face of divine judgment. I think it's worth a try if you like mythology or religious movies. In 39th place is The Dark Tower. The Dark Tower is a fantasy adventure about a young boy, Jake Chambers, whose journey is filled with dreams of another world. These dreams lead him to discover a mysterious portal that leads him to Middle-earth, a dimension where he meets Roland Deschain, the last musketeer. Roland is on a quest to reach the Black Tower, a legendary structure said to hold the fabric of reality together. When they join forces, they must battle the Man in Black, a sinister sorcerer intent on destroying the tower and unleashing chaos on all worlds. The movie combines themes of fate, the struggle between good and evil, and the resilience of hope. I think it's very good in terms of action, but it may seem like a little bit of a childish movie, but I recommend it. In 38th place is Robin Hood. In this reimagining of the classic tale, Robin Hood tells the story of a noble outlaw who fights against the tyrannical rule of a corrupt government in medieval England. Returning from the Crusades, Robin of Locksley discovers that his hometown is suffering under the oppressive rule of the Sheriff of Nottingham. Determined to bring justice to the people, Robin forms a rebel band and begins stealing from the rich to give to the poor. As Robin struggles against overwhelming odds, he becomes a symbol of hope and defiance for the oppressed. The film explores themes of social justice, rebellion, and the power of ordinary people to rise up against tyranny. I think everyone knows Robin Hood, so if his story inspires you, watch it. In 37th place is WALL-E. Set in a distant future where the world has become an uninhabitable wasteland covered in garbage, WALL-E centers on a small, lonely robot named WALL-E, waste-assigned load lifter, Earth class, who is left behind to clean up the mess. After centuries of tireless work, WALL-E has developed a personality and a sense of wonder about the world around him. His routine is interrupted when he meets Eve, a sleek and advanced robot sent to Earth to find signs of life. Together, they embark on a journey that takes them across the galaxy and leads them to discover that humanity's survival may depend on them. The film is a poignant exploration of environmental themes, the impact of consumerism, and the enduring power of love and friendship. One of the best animated films in my opinion. I recommend it for both adults and children. In 36th place is Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. In a mystical world filled with magic, a group of thieves embark on an epic adventure when they discover a dark force that threatens to engulf the realm. This unlikely band of heroes, each with their own unique talents and backgrounds, must retrieve a powerful artifact that could shift the balance of power. Along their journey, they face a series of challenges that test their loyalty, courage, and friendship. The stakes are high as they face dangerous enemies, navigate treacherous landscapes, and uncover secrets that could determine the fate of their world. Their mission is not just to survive, but to restore balance to a world on the brink of chaos. I think the movie is perfect for fantasy and action lovers. I recommend it. In 35th place is Turbo. Turbo is a garden snail with an extraordinary dream to become the fastest racer in the world. Despite the impossibility of his dream, Turbo's life takes a miraculous turn when he regains incredible speed after a terrible accident. Now able to move at lightning speed, Turbo embarks on a journey to fulfill his dream of competing in one of the most prestigious races, the Indianapolis 500. Along the way, he makes an unlikely team of friends who support him in his quest. Turbo's story is a tale of perseverance, where believing in yourself and daring to dream big leads to unexpected and extraordinary results. I think the movie is a very good movie that you can watch with your family, and it appeals to both children and parents. In 34th place is Keanu. Two cousins, Rel and Clarence, find themselves in a strange situation when Rel's beloved pet cat Keanu is kidnapped. Determined to get Keanu back, they plunge into the dangerous world of organized crime. Their search takes them deep into the criminal underworld, where they must pose as tough gangsters to infiltrate a notorious drug cartel. Along their journey, they encounter a series of increasingly absurd and dangerous situations while trying to maintain their cover and save Keanu. The story leads to unexpected personal revelations and bonding moments, showing how far they will go for the love of a pet. Honestly, I had fun watching the movie, but it's a comedy, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're expecting an action-packed movie. In 33rd place is American Psycho. Patrick Bateman is the epitome of success in 1980s Manhattan, young, rich, and impeccably groomed. By day, he is a successful investment banker admired by his peers for his style and social status. But behind this exterior lies a deeply disturbed individual who revels in murder. As Bateman's obsession with power and control grows, so does his bloodlust, leading him to commit increasingly brutal acts of violence. The narrative delves deep into Bateman's psyche, revealing a chilling portrait of a man as detached from reality as he is from human emotion. The story is a dark exploration of the excesses of yuppie culture, where the line between sanity and madness is horribly blurred. So the movie is not bad, but only if you don't mind seeing blood and nudity like this. In 32nd place is The Prestige. In late 19th century London, two talented magicians, Robert Angier and Alfred Borden, become bitter rivals after a tragic accident during a staged performance. Their intense competition to outwit each other's illusions turns into an all-consuming obsession, leading them down a dark path of deception, betrayal, and sacrifice. As each becomes more desperate to uncover the secrets behind the other's tricks, they push the limits of their craft and morality. The competition becomes a deadly game of cat and mouse where the ultimate prize may be their own souls. The story unravels in a series of twists and turns that challenge perceptions of truth and reality, culminating in a stunning and thought-provoking conclusion. Needless to say, if you like science fiction and thrillers, watch it now. In 31st place is Kong, Skull Island. Set in 1973, a team of explorers, scientists, and soldiers embark on a dangerous mission to a mysterious, uncharted island in the Pacific. They are initially sent to investigate the island's unique ecosystem, but upon arrival they discover a world full of dangerous and gigantic creatures. Among them is Kong, the giant ape who reigns as king of the island. As the team struggles to survive against these terrifying creatures, they uncover deeper mysteries of the island and realize that they may have stepped into a place that humans should never have entered. The film follows the team's fight for survival, while exploring the conflict between man and nature, and the unintended consequences of human interference in the natural world. Watch it if you like themes such as the battle of gigantic creatures. In 30th place is John Carter. John Carter, a weary Civil War veteran, finds himself inexplicably transported to Mars, known to its inhabitants as Barsum. On this new planet, he discovers that his earthly body gives him extraordinary strength and agility due to the planet's low gravity. Carter becomes embroiled in the civil wars and political intrigues of the Martian people, including the beautiful princess Dejah Thoris. As he navigates the complex social and political landscape of Barsum, Carter realizes that he must take a stand to save the planet from destruction. Throughout his journey, he not only becomes a hero to the Martians, but also finds redemption and a new purpose away from his war-torn life on Earth. Although the movie was made with a very big budget, it is not known at all. I think it is a movie to watch. I recommend it. 29th place goes to Shawshank. Andy Dufresne, a banker wrongfully convicted of murdering his wife and her lover, is sentenced to life in Shawshank State Prison. Over the years, Andy develops a deep friendship with Ellis, Red Redding, his fellow inmate and the man in charge of the prison's smuggling operation. Despite the harsh realities of prison life, Andy maintains hope and dignity, using his financial expertise to help the corrupt warden and guards, all while secretly planning his escape. Exploring themes of hope, resilience, and the human spirit, the story shows how Andy's unwavering hope and quiet determination transforms not only his own life but also the lives of those around him. The film culminates in one of cinema's most iconic endings, emphasizing the power of perseverance and the enduring hope for freedom. I recommend it if you like thrillers. 28th place goes to Hercules. Once a mighty warrior known for his incredible strength and legendary exploits, Hercules is now a haunted man struggling with the ghosts of his past. After suffering great personal tragedy, he turned his back on the world of heroes and gods, choosing instead to live as a mercenary. When a desperate king and his daughter seek his help to defeat a ruthless warlord who threatens their kingdom, Hercules is forced to confront his inner demons and rediscover his true self. While training an army to stand against overwhelming odds, Hercules must also confront his own identity and the burdens of his past. The film explores themes of redemption, leadership, and one man's journey to come to terms with his humanity and divine heritage. Mythology is involved, but I don't think it has much to do with the movie. I recommend it if you like action and old age movies. 27th place goes to In the Heart of the Sea. In 1820, the whale ship Essex set sail from Nantucket on a routine whaling expedition, but their journey takes a terrifying turn when the ship is struck and sunk by a massive, vengeful sperm whale. Stranded in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the crew faces an unimaginable ordeal as they are left adrift for over 90 days with no hope of rescue. Struggling with hunger, exposure, and desperation, the crew is forced to make harrowing decisions in their desperate fight for survival. Telling the true story that inspired a famous literary work, the film focuses on the limits of human endurance and the terrible power of nature. As the men face their own fears and the harsh realities of the sea, their experience changes them forever and leaves a lasting legacy that will resonate throughout history. With its cast and story, I think you need to watch it. I recommend it. Guys, it has already been a long video, so I will shoot the rest of the video if 100 likes come to this video. If you are going to watch the movies I described here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Goodbye.